Hello everybody, NGS here, and welcome to Witch Hat Atelier, which is an anime that I know basically nothing about. Like literally. Very often I come into a series that I haven't seen, and I know at least something, right? Maybe I've seen a trailer, maybe I've read the description, mostly because usually I do the seasonal streams. I didn't this time around, so terribly sorry for that. But the good side of it is that I can go into this show pretty much completely blind. I have absolutely no idea what it's about. Like, legitimately. I've not read the anime, I've not read what people say about this show. I just know that the general consensus is that the source material is really good. That's all I know. Uh, I know that it's been delayed, and I know that it has like a single core, so 12 or 13 episodes. And I think it's Bug Films studio making it. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe it would be, maybe it was Wit. No, Wit is doing the Bookworm this season, right? So it wasn't Wit. Probably Bug Films then. And that's all. And that's it. I know absolutely nothing else. I'm going into it completely blind. So that's going to be interesting for sure. And if you, dear viewer, are going into my video completely blind, like you haven't seen any of my previous videos, then you might be unfamiliar with the general way of how those videos are structured. First, it's the intro that we are having right now. Then we're gonna go through the entire episode. We're gonna watch it with subtitles here, or in picture-in-picture mode. That's basically kind of like this. This version is going to be up on Patreon, so you might want to check it out in the description. Then we're going to go through the whole episode again, like this, skipping through, stopping to discuss some more interesting things, maybe watch some bits of animation, things like that, to talk about the episode in depth. Then we are going to I am going to talk about this episode in general, my final review, so to speak, and there the episode ends. Although, because it's the first episode of the season, we're also going to go through the list of voice actors, the staff working on this show, the studio, what have they made before, stuff like that. So today's video might be a fair bit longer than the rest of the videos in the series might be. Another bit of housekeeping. I know that episode 2 is already out as well. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Maybe I'm gonna watch episode 2 tomorrow, maybe I'm gonna watch it next week and we're gonna have that one episode offset. I know, we'll see. You will hear from me in the videos, maybe through some community posts, maybe on the Discord, which you can of course join here, also linked in the description. And that's it. Shortest intro ever. So how about we just watch the show, shall we? And see what it has in stock for us. And to do that, I will of course need my subs to follow. You will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show and to hear my own voice. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube, down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching Witch Hat Atelier episode 1 in 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry if I'm having a little bit of a sniffles. Astronaut and Idol. So modern times? modern-ish times. Some sort of science fantasy, urban fantasy? Or is it just an intro for the viewer and not established within the universe? Because this doesn't look like modern clothes. Hope it's not boiling water. Lest you get attacked by a... What was it that attacked Marcel in Dungeon Meshi? Not a Kelpie, not a Selkie. Oh, the water spirit. Right from the get-go, really good art and animation. Oh! Self-cleaning spring. Well, that's useful. We can dump industrial waste. Bug films, okay. So I was correct. Shoes too big. Sisters, older sister, mother. The magic that started everything. Those are not ordinary animals. So it's certainly not set in our world. Okay, main character is not a witch. Something happens that either reveals that she is a witch after all, or she gains the ability to use magic by some other means, or she enters a magical world without actually being able to use magic. Kind of like Mashul. Oh, that's gorgeous. Also, I love the architecture. Being able to go up to the roof. Is she... Oh, it's not her. It's someone. Cool glasses. Is he a merchant? Coco, okay. We have the name. Okay, I thought for a moment that maybe her mother can't see it. Or something like that. And it's revealed that she's special because she can see thestrals. Smoke colored. Well, there are different kinds of smoke. Not using any ruler. That takes skill. Shears. Oh. That glide. It's always the best part about cutting anything. Fabric, paper. Hmm. Are there perhaps more kinds of magic? And she might not be able to, like, cast fireballs, but she could become a really good artificer? Maybe. Shiny chariot! And the butterfly again. Okay. So magic is not like an everyday thing. Meaning, like, street lamps in the city are probably not magic, right? Oh. Roasted strawberries? That, that would just be smoky mush. Reaction? Okay. Reaction is fine. I thought that maybe there is some kind of a stigma that non-magical people have against witches. And the shine stopped. Damn. Hmm? What just happened? Did they spook the Pegasi? Is the glasses guy gonna be able to fix it? He's an artificer of some sort. He can fix magical items. A witch hat. Now we're just missing an atelier. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any buildings nearby, so. And take a photo of it, draw it on a sheet of paper, and cast it. Be like Luz Noceda. Why is magic so secretive? Yeah. Anybody can use magic. Absolutely anybody, if they know how. But the witches, deliberately, do not show how to do it. So that the lower caste doesn't get access to the same kind of power. Not that easy, eh? Is she gonna be able to see something anyway? Right, the safest way inside is through the roof. And she will witness the magic. Okay, so it's a magic system based on. Yeah, based on the runes, sigils, magic circles, whatever you want to call them. Question is, do you need some special magical ink? Or can any random nobody draw a magic circle and it's just gonna work? She's gonna try drawing something that she saw in the book that she bought, and it's gonna work. We're doing the owl house. What was that? It's never nothing. When a character says something and they stop themselves and they say, never mind, it's nothing. It's something. Yeah, uncap it. And it's a pen. Now we just need some inkoust. We are doing the owl house. Oh, there's ink in the little gem thing. Okay, that's cool. A self-contained magical tool. Right, she has a really good and steady hand. Meaning, her magic circles will probably be really fucking good. That's why he took note of it. Because one of the most important things for a witch is a steady hand. Oh? You didn't close the circle entirely. Yep. And boom. You're a wizard, Coco. Oh, that's pretty. He seems like a chill guy. I think he'd rather take you as his protege, if anything. Oh? His sixth sense will tell him that she's doing magic. It wasn't a picture book, it was a spell book. Mm-hmm. Yep, makes sense. You also made it easy when you were doing it on, on fabric. Just don't let the ink bleed onto the book. And yeah, some spells might not be great to cast. Oh shit, is her mom gonna die? I don't fucking know. It was a crystallization spell. Do we have motivation? Decrystallize my mom. Oh! Yeah. Hmm. Or you can make her a witch. That's a good point, actually. Hmm. Okay. We have our story arc. Qifrey. When did we learn his name? Maybe I missed it. Magic! You're a witch, Coco. Oh, that's gorgeous. And I love the music. The weird butterfly again. Okay. The School of the Grassland. Well, of course, she's a brand new witch, so she's going to have to go to a magic school, obviously. Okay, well, let's go through this episode again, shall we? Yes, we shall. We always do so. And that was my power bank. And another thing we always do is save a nice little page in my little book of theories and see what I managed to figure out and what I am completely mistaken on. Witch Hat Atelier. There we go. OP is an athlete from the day they are born. What about an astronaut or an idol? You can't know what you'll be at birth. Right, nature versus nurture, kinda, sorta thing. Except we. Are we actually certain that what makes you you is 100%? Well, not 100%, but majority nurture and not nature? Right? Like if someone is born with their genetics um, being so that naturally their muscle mass improves faster or something like that, then naturally they will be stronger, faster, have more stamina, so they will be dragged more towards physical things in their life. So you could say that nature does have a lot to say. What about witches? Yeah, because they mentioned astronauts and idols, I thought that we might be going for some sort of contemporary fantasy, right? Our main character is a regular person in a city, and then they discover the wondrous world of magic, right? Something more like a Little Witch Academia, kinda, sort of deal. But no, this seems to be a completely different world, not just timeline. Like we're not just it's our world but medieval. No, it's a completely different world. The dough looks like, a regular dough. Do does have horizontal pupils? I know that goats have them. I'm not sure about those. Ah. The spring is touched by magic, it clears itself. Just like that. The world brims with magic, an essential and handy miracle. But how it works is unknown to a regular person. Because to those in the know, the way of how magic works is probably no different than mathematics or physics or programming, right? Magic, I feel very often is, well, depending on the system. But if you are doing a more hard magic system, then there eventually comes a time where magic essentially becomes programming. You don't use words and keywords and Python. You use lines and circles and stuff and runes and whatever, but ultimately it just becomes programming. Where was it a plot point? Oh, Kobayashi Sanchi no Maid Dragon, of course. I'm not sure if it was already in the anime. I don't think it was. Maybe in the Kanna movie. But yeah, Kobayashi was able to understand magic more or less because it's like programming. She's been a programmer. She was using a DSL domain specific language that their boss created specifically for the company, and that DSL was very similar to how magic spells work. Yeah, it was a plot point in Kobayashi. But those animals, well, they don't look anything like animals in our world, right? It's like a cross between a tapir, a weird something, I don't know, with a flat tail and a mane. It's like a woolly tapir kind of thing. So yeah, we don't have those. Must be nice being born a witch. I love the architecture. Architecture here is fairly plain as we see it, but I love the place. It's like a village in the Alps. I'm reminded of the animated movie, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a movie, not a TV series. Mm, I cannot for the life of me remember the name. But there was a girl from a village in the Alps, and she went to a big city, and she was like helping another frail girl. She was like hired or something to do that, and they became friends. But then she had to go back to the Alps, and the girl in a wheelchair, I think she was, or she had crutches, something like that. She went after her. I can't remember the name, but I remember really, really liking it. If you know the title, if it's reminds you of something, then let me know in the comments, because I would actually like to rewatch it, but I don't remember the title. Now this architecture is what I like. A weird roof with a weird flat bit and a bit of railing and some staircase. It kind of looks like uh, the house that the Moomin troll or whatever you want to call them lived in, and I genuinely love it. Weird as Pegasi. I didn't notice it initially, but their wings are on their necks. Like they sprout from where their ears should be. That's a weird ass design. The carriage is again bulbous, more reminiscent of a little hut than an actual carriage. And it uses two front wheels, and in the back is essentially some sort of a kind of anti-gravity plate kind of deal, something like that, that uses magic. Nice spinning shot, beautiful eyes. The building is CG. It looks decent. And it's actually rotating on twos. Yeah. I think what actually gives it away for being CG is the textures. Usually drawn elements are not textured this much. And for a background, the shadows among the shingles are not like splotchy. And even exist, right? Because here you see the roof being also in the background, and the shingles are essentially basically half a cylinder dragged all the way down with just some cross sections, right? But here you see the shingles actually modeled individually. Yeah. And kind of shoddily placed, as you can see on the right here. This one's not really holding onto anything. Yeah, they didn't pay attention to how the actual background was drawn and just threw together this sort of CG model. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, for a shot like that, it would not be easy to hand draw like a roof like that rotating. I think the sunrise are drawn. Whatever. No need to over analyze it. Do you see the landing sequence? Kinda. Just kinda stops. And we have this dude who has weird half and half glasses. Right lens is completely blacked out, left lens is a regular lens. I'm going to assume he's blind in his right eye, or otherwise something is up with his right eye. What's his name? Qifrey, however you pronounce it. Phrase right eye is, I'm gonna say special, but well, special slash injured. And apparently Coco's mother is running some sort of a tailor shop. Well, not tailor shop. She doesn't make clothes. It's like what's it called? Well, she sells fabric. Probably makes and sells fabric. People from the Pegasus carriage. All this time I was kind of expecting Coco's mother to be very much against her using magic because of some sort of a dark quote-unquote thing, right? Like maybe mages are prejudiced towards regular people, or regular people are prejudiced towards witches, or maybe magic is seen as unclean in this area. Or maybe Coco's father died because of magic, or right? I was expecting something like that, but no. No, her mother is, well, not perfectly fine with Coco wanting to be a witch, but she's not being a bitch about it, right? It's basically a regular, right? A kid says they want to be an astronaut and they continue talking about being astronauts, and the parents are like, okay, let's, you know, stop for a moment, think about it, maybe. Like, don't go trying to, blow yourself up. You're not gonna go to the moon if you put a bunch of firecrackers underneath a bucket and sit on the bucket, right? Please don't do that. This sort of vibe. Smoke colored. Couldn't give us a Pantone name. Smoke colored. We have an interesting numerical system. The first character seems to be the number. Then the dot separates the number from the unit, perhaps. And the O looking thing seems to be the unit of measure. Or it's a 0. Either works. Yeah, burnt piece of wood. Really pretty art and animation. Very steady hand. Great concentration, steady hands, no hesitation in the line, clean cut. Yeah, he pays attention to that because those are things necessary for a good witch, right? You gotta be able to draw your magic circles well. If you don't draw them well, they're not gonna work, or they're gonna misfire. Yeah, she went to a festival. We see the weird butterfly again. And we see a weird witch. With a mask that looks like it's symbolizing an eye. Magic is a miracle that makes this world vibrant. I'm getting the vibe that whatever kind of branch of witches this witch belongs to is treated by the mainstream quote-unquote witches as the evil ones, but in reality they aren't so much evil as they want magic to be less restrained, right? That's why she's here giving out magic books to random kids, right? Basically to spread the magic around, to not keep it under lock and key of the existing establishment. That's the vibe I'm getting. How do I call them? Eye mask witches? Sure. Eye mask witches want magic to be free and usable by anyone. That's why they're villainized by mainstream witches. Is it crazy that it reminds me of the Owl House again? With the wild magic and the Emperor's Covens? Am I crazy? I think I know where the Owl House takes inspiration from. Actually, what was the first? What was first here? Because maybe it's this anime taking inspiration from the Owl House, huh? Unlikely, but you know, it's a possibility. Maybe. Actually, let me check right quick. When did the manga start? 2016, and the Owl House 2020. Okay, so yeah, Dana Terrace probably got some inspiration from Witch Hat Atelier. Magic is a miracle that makes this world vibrant. An everlasting spring that preserves crystal clear waters, even the cobblestones beneath your feet. Everything is magic. Magic is everywhere. Magic is all around us. Magic is in every single one of us. The fact that there is a group of mages who want to restrict that knowledge to only themselves is a travesty against magic. Magic should be free. Magic should make the world vibrant and colorful, right? Mm-hmm. The ground shines every time I take a step. And it stopped. Could you tell me a little bit more about the book? He was already suspicious. The anti-gravity plate fell off, but he can fix it. I thought that maybe we're going for some sort of still like artificer branch of magic, where there are mages that can cast fireballs, and they are, you know, the high up, and they are the elite, and there are the lowly artificers that nobody pays attention to. But in reality, the artificer is the strongest class. But no, he's just a witch, like any other witch. Right, I was wondering why he doesn't want to do it outside, and we have an answer, because it's a secret. Because the way of using magic is secret. No matter what happens, don't let anyone come inside. Right. Yeah, we see the spells in her book. They were here all along. Witches are the only ones who know the secret. Yeah, it turns out that being a witch isn't actually anything inherent. Like, it might be inherent in that if you are born in a family of witches, then your father or your mother are gonna tell you how magic works, and you're also gonna know how magic works, and you're gonna be a witch. But it's not inherent in that only some people have magic powers, right? If you have the ink and you know the shape, you can do magic. That's it. That's all there is to it. And of course, she had to see it. Simple as that. Just draw shapes with special ink. Make sure the shapes are, you know, drawn well. But ultimately, yeah, it's not something you cast. It's not something where you use your innate ability. You draw a shape and it just works. Just like that. Just like that. I thought you'd say you wanted to go with that witch. Right. And we see the last happy moments between them, and words left unsaid. Never mind. What was she trying to say? We don't know. We won't know until she's decrystallized. It is a pen nib. It is ink. But you need to finish your drawing. Can't be sloppy about it. But once you finish it, it does something. Could be sparkles. Could be the destruction of the whole neighborhood. This is neat. A circle, a magic circle for fire, held in place by a couple of stones, and it's a fireplace. It just works. Could it be? Yeah. The Forbidden Spellbook. Entire collection of spells. Bigger ones are stronger. And you can't be sloppy. Gotta say that not the best spellbook where it doesn't say or show or suggest anywhere what any given spell does. You know, you copy a spell and it could be a fireplace spell or it could be doom. Right? You never know. Tracing makes it neat. Being neat makes it powerful and long lasting. That's a whole entire fucking sequence. Yeah, this show's gorgeous. His voice here for a moment sounded feminine. I wonder who's the VA. What did you draw? I don't know. Well, you know, you should probably learn what you draw, what you cast before you cast it. Like, sure, I understand her being extremely, stoked and hyper about, I'm able to cast magic. Let me cast all the magic. I will learn all the magic. I will. This book is fucking amazing. I'm gonna start drawing every single spell it has. Right? I can understand that she was excited, but irresponsible. Certainly. And her mother was apparently deaf because she couldn't hear, deaf and blind because she couldn't hear the crystallization behind her. She couldn't see the eerie glow. She just fucking stood there like a stump. And she got crystallized. Along the entire area. So they're not going to be able to retrieve the book from here. They're not going to be able to retrieve the wand. I was really hoping that the book and the wand are going to be like Coco's signature things, kinda like the shiny chariot's wand for Akko, or the notebook in the stories of girls who couldn't be magicians, right? I thought it's gonna be something like that, but she lost both of them. It doesn't seem like she has either with her right now. Yeah, and we now have a driving motivation for her. It was kept a secret so nothing like this would happen. Special ink and a set of casting seals, that's all anyone needs to use magic. But magic is dangerous. That's why it has to be strictly controlled. That's why we have to do the MIB thing to anybody who sees how we do magic, right? We are the responsible ones, right? We can be trusted with that power. You, peasants, you can't be trusted with it. I know that it's not what he's saying, and I don't think it's what he believes, but it's certainly a read you can get of this situation. It's certainly what the eye mask witches could see in this situation, right? Magic should be free for everyone versus we are the only ones who can use magic. You cannot do it. You cannot know, right? Two sides, both sides raising good points. That's the vibe I'm getting from the whole situation here. If I forget everything, who will save my mom? Yeah. Don't remember the spell exactly, the circle, because it was hell fucking complicated. But I know that there was a dragon on the page. I know which page was it. If that picture belonged to them, I'll be losing track of their whereabouts. So, whether she wants it or not, she's going to have to become a witch. She's going to have to keep magic in secrecy. Because that's what being a witch means. Keeping magic in secret. Keeping how magic is cast, how magic is done in secret. The School of the Grassland. Yeah, we have the main driving motivation of our main character. We have at least the first overarching story. We have all we need, really. Overarching story is about finding the book and saving the mom. Pretty obvious in hindsight, isn't it? Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun first episode. For sure. And now, yeah, now we're gonna see the stuff. Format ONA. I don't know why it's called an ONA. It's scheduled for 13 episodes. That's a, regular anime core. I don't frankly know what makes it an ONA. Bag Films, Kodansha, Avex Pictures, Witch Hat Atelier, Adventure Drama Fantasy. Yep. I'm not gonna go through the tags in case there's spoilers. Bug Films, they made Zom 100. Not much. They haven't made all that much. Zom 100 was good. Still haven't finished it because it finished kinda sorta. It had a break for like a month, then released a couple more episodes. Then the final episode we had to wait like a whole season for. So I just kind of forgot that it existed. It was haunted by production issues. The opening was changing like every 3 episodes. They were adding actual like opening sequences because initially it was just a bunch of scenes from the anime, and then they started cobbling something together. This was great. Amazing visuals. I loved it. Amazing visuals, amazing animation. But holy shit, the production was atrocious. I hope it's not gonna happen with Witch Hat Atelier. The fact that it was delayed by a year tells me that maybe they wanted to avoid exactly what happened to Zom 100, and they'd rather take a year more to work on this show, right? And release it with no, no production issues. And they have movie of some sort scheduled for 2027. I'm betting either Witch Hat Atelier movie or Zone 100 movie. Probably Witch Hat Atelier movie, if I were a betting man. Let's start with staff, maybe. Original creator, director, character design, absolutely. Art design, art director. Music was great. Script. Haven't seen the OPED yet. Chief animator, why not? Key animation. There's a lot of key animators, so I'm not gonna go through all of them. Keys, in-betweens, keys, in-betweens, keys and in-betweens. A lot of people involved. Kamome Shirahama, the mangaka of the OG. Also the Star Wars Visions character design, some spin-off of Witch Hat Atelier about cooking, apparently. Any Devi looks interesting. And some, like, battle manga, I don't know. Mostly Witch Hat Atelier, it seems. Ayumu Watanabe, the director here. What else did he do? Komi-san, chief director. Ace Attorney, I see. Negima. Lots of Doraemon. Mostly Doraemon. Started with Doraemon, then Azumanga Daioh storyboard, and yeah, not really all that many modern quote-unquote shows. Interesting. Kairi Unabara, character design and chief animation director on today's episode. Sanda, which I haven't seen, Spy Family Season 2, Scott Pilgrim, Osama Ranking, this one, Totsukuni no Shoujo. I have to watch it one day. Apparently it's really good, and it reminds me of Ancient Magus Bride a lot. Mika Nakajima, art design here. Also art design for Dandadan, Isekai Oji-san. Anything else I recognize? Uchino Maid. Devilman Crybaby, art design, Soul Eater. Damn. Code Geass, background art. Darker Than Black, art assistance. Ryota Goto, art director. Not that much stuff. Mostly background art. Interesting. Mostly work as background art and then suddenly art director. And then we have Shuhei Tada, art design here. Also Beastars, Boku no Hero Academia, Shingeki no Kyojin, Vanita no Carte, and not that much more. Yuka Kitamura, music only here. Interesting. Formerly affiliated with FromSoft. Soundtrack for Dark Souls 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Elden Ring? Damn! Damn! Hiroshi Seko, script. Also for Rooster Fighter, JJK, Chainsaw Man. Zone 100 script for the first 5 episodes. Mob Psycho, Shingeki no Kyojin, Decadence, Dorodoro, Jujutsu Kaisen, Mob Psycho, Banana Fish, Shingeki no Kyojin, Ajin. Lots of Ajin. Kill la Kill, episode 5 script. And the script for some episodes or half episodes of PSG. And Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. So seems like he was affiliated with Trigger. Well, before Trigger, he was affiliated with... what were they called before being Trigger? Gainax. Yeah, Gainax, Trigger, Owari no Seraph. Not all Trigger shows. Yeah, I don't... Oh no, there it is. Darling in the Franxx. Yeah, mostly affiliated with Trigger, it seems. Gainax, then Trigger. And Satoshi Nakano, chief animator, also did some keys for Boku no Hero Academia, Spy Family, Takt of Destiny, Osama Ranking, Zom 100, and some other shows. Boogie Pop, Hisomaso. Mostly work on openings, it seems. Space Dandy, Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. There we go. That sums up the stuff, more or less. If there's anybody else interesting on this list and I skipped over them for the sake of brevity, tell me about it. If you spotted someone that I should really know about. Because yeah, I'm not gonna hold you here for like 2 hours going through all those people. Voice actors. Coco, Rena Motomura, Qifrey, Natsuki Hanae. Plenty of Coco no Haha, Mayumi Sako. Let's start with the characters that we do know. Rena Motomura, the voice of Coco, also the voice of... not really anybody I would know. Some minor role in Oshinoko. Yeah. And then straight up lead character of Witch Hat Atelier. That's a good progression in career, isn't it? Natsuki Hanae. Takakura Ken. Yeah, the same voice as Okarun. Makes sense in hindsight. Yeah. I knew I recognized it from somewhere. It's Okarun, of course. Tanjiro, Kitty the Owl from Bye Bye Earth. Sikru. I am still yet to watch Bye Bye Earth Season 2. Season 1 was such a mindfuck that I feel tired just thinking of watching Season 2. Honestly. I really want to watch Season 2, but I'm afraid. If you want to watch like a complete and utter mindfuck of a show, go watch Bye Bye Earth. It's such a weird show. Such a weird show. In both the good meaning of that word and the bad meaning of that word. Botchan from Shinigami Botchan, 9S, and some other characters as well. Oh, Milo from Sabiku Ibisco, and Mayumi Sako, the voice of the mother, also the voice of Arnheid from Vinland Saga, mostly playing mothers, it seems, or otherwise MILFs. Someone in Precure. Yeah, those are VAs of the known characters. Now we have Raiche, Tetia, Agon Arkrom, Olrugio, Aleira, Iguin, Hidemushi, weird-ass creature thing, Hikatsuki Shiro, voicing Riche, also the voice of nobody I would recognize, random magical girl B from Shangri-La Frontier, I guess. That's my only reference. Kurumi Haruki, absolutely no reference. Apparently she's also voicing Kamura, whoever that's gonna be. Hibiki Yamamura, the voice of Agot Arkrom, also the voice of Felicia and Alma from Remonster, apparently. Nobody that I would recognize at first glance. Someone in Precure. Someone in Beastars. Devil's Line. Architect in Frame Arms Girls. More Precure. Mio Kusakai in Keijo. Oh, the random voice actress from New Game. And some other characters. That's a long history. Oh, Eri! Eritaki from K-On! Yuichi Nakamura, voice of Olorugio. And also the voice of Klen from Clevatis. Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, interesting. And if Gojo, then of course also Andy from Undead Unluck. Red Keeper from Sentai Daishikaku. I am yet to watch season 2. Again, I have to catch up one day to all those shows that got second seasons, but I haven't seen Zai in Ninja Kamui. Oh, Zain from Frieren. Interesting. Okay. Katana Mitsuishi, the voice of Alaira. Also the voice of Misato Katsuragi. Okay. Yamada Tae from Zombieland Saga. Mitsuki from Precon. Now those are finally some characters I recognize. Mei Mei from Jujutsu Kaisen. Rahab from Mahotsukai no Yome Season 2. I have to finish that one again. I have a lot of unfinished series, and it's my greatest shame. Pipimi, but who hasn't voiced Pipimi? If you're unfamiliar, Pipimi and Popuko were voiced by, like, yeah, by a lot of people. And a bunch of other characters. Mitsuki Saiga, the voice of the Eye Witch. Also the voice of anybody I would know. Not really. Someone in Shingeki no Kyojin. I keep seeing this character and I keep thinking she's from Witchcraft Works, but no, it's from Iruma-kun. Miroslava from Kakegurui. I've seen like 3 episodes of Kakegurui and no more. Live Cool from Yurikuma Arashi. Another weird ass show. If you wanna watch something weird, Yurikuma Arashi is gonna fit the bill. Absolutely. Nagamasa Asai from Oda Nobunaga no Yabo. Alright. Misaki Kuno, the voice of this weird thing, and also the voice of another weird thing. Plenty of Children, Kurumi from Licoreko. More kids. Yeah, Oh, Nagato from Azure Lane and Ping Hai. Not many that I would recognize, alas. Oh, Fabata and Irumyui. Irumyui. Yeah, Irumyui. From Maiden Abyss. And Misaki from Precon. And now the characters that don't even have their pictures. We know that Kamura was voiced by Kurumi Haruki. So, Tanaru, Chojo, Jijo, Maiko Kazama, Motoki Sakuma. Oh, no. Those are names, not characters. Chihiro Ueda, voicing Tanaru. And not much more. Hibiko Yamamura, voicing Chojo. And also Felicia and Alma. So we've seen her, yeah, also voicing Agot Arkrome. Right. Kana Nakamura, voice of Jijo. I'm assuming at least two of them were the friends in the first episode, right? If I were a betting man, I would say Chojo and Jijo were their names. But yeah, voicing Jijo, voicing Renako in this one. I'm not gonna spell out the whole entire name of it. Narita Top Road in Umamusu. And a bunch of other characters. Maiko Kazama, the voice of Sanjo. Also the voice of plenty of background characters. Meiken Tsukasa from Umamusu. Oh, Hakua Igarashi from Kaiji Hachigo as well. And someone in 86. Oh, Arles in Dungeon Nidenai. And finally, Motoki Sakuma, the voice of Gyosha, and also the voice of nobody I would recognize in particular, mostly background characters, it seems. And that sums it up. That just about sums it up. So, to sum it up, if it wasn't summed up enough, I really enjoyed myself. I can see why I heard people put this show in this like trifecta of modern fantasy manga, modern fantasy anime, Frieren, Dungeon Meshi, and Witch Hat Atelier. I've heard many people mention those three. And yeah, I can see that. I can absolutely see the potential, depending on how deep they want to go with what I observed, and depending if my observations are correct or not, right? Because they could make the world much more shallow, right? They could go with the, eye mask witches are evil, and magic must be controlled, and this is the only correct thing, and Qifrey is the good guy, and the mainstream mages are the good guys that they are trying to limit access to magic. There, and we just take it as gospel, right? They could go with that. I hope they don't. I have a feeling that because people talk about this anime being really good, this manga, the source material, I don't think people would deem it really good to this degree if they went for shallow world building like that. I really think that we're going to see some shades of grey here, where perhaps the mainstream witches they're not 100% the good guys. Maybe there is some place to make magic itself a little bit more mainstream, right? Maybe there should be some selection process. Sure, absolutely. Of regular people who, if they want to, they could join a magic school and learn how to do those things and go through a selection process, right? And the really destructive spells could be left for, the longer you learn, the longer you are a mage, the more access, so to speak, you gain, right? We could find some sort of a middle ground, because I also don't think that giving easy access to magic to absolutely everybody would be a good thing, especially since magic seems limitless. As long as you have the ink, as long as you have a steady hand or can trace well, and as long as you know the seal, you can do anything. There doesn't seem to be any sort of mana or whatever. So magic in the wrong hands could be extremely destructive. So I agree that it should be gated a little, but maybe not quite this much. And I wonder where this show is going to go, meandering between the world of the mainstream mages and the I-Witch mages. I mask witches. I should start calling them witches and not mages. It feels weird to call a male character a witch, right? It's usually witches and wizards, or mages. Those terms are gendered somehow. I don't know why, but they are. But yeah, I guess watching Owl House got me accustomed to that a little bit, so I should not find it hard to accustom myself to calling everybody witches here. By the way, watch Owl House. Really good show. I really didn't think that Western animation was anything of note for the longest time, but I gave a shot to the Owl House and it's actually pretty fucking good. Shame it got axed. And I can see a lot of Owl House in here, which brings me joy, because humans love recognizing patterns. That's how we are built. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Beautiful art, beautiful animation, great music, amazing backgrounds, and a lot of potential for a really good, really deep story. Yeah, I don't have enough stamina to get second episode also recorded today, but maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, because it's fun. It will be fun. I can see that already. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me for today, for right now. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. Say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. If you want to talk spoilers with other people who also know those spoilers, you can go to my Discord server here, also in the description. There's gonna be a channel made for this show specifically, where you can use spoiler tags and talk spoilers to your heart's content. I'm not going to see them. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified of future videos of Witch Hat Atelier and whatever else I decide to release. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing to do so, and it helps the channel an awful lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Dr. Watt, Akamancer, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to use a special ink.